Hi everybody, Chris Aftercare. Thanks for having me. All right, I'm gonna do the solve.
Strong enough to make the return journey back to the polar waters. Just like Echo's mom, humpbacks find security in numbers. Echo can't believe his eyes. At his young age, he's never been this far out to sea, so he's never seen a whale. Luke doesn't seem too sure about this lazy newcomer. Echo, on the other hand, is having a blast. He's just figured out how to ride the big front wave Maria creates as she pushes through the water. But while Echo's out horsing around, his mother has come looking for him. She knows it's not safe for him to be out in the open ocean by himself. Kumu calls out for him. Uh-oh. Echo knows that tone. If he doesn't learn to stick with the pod and do what his mother says, he's putting his life at risk. Dolphin or whale, the relationship between a mother and her calf is one of the strongest bonds in nature. Now Maria hears whale sounds. This is the thing she most wants to hear right now. It means protection for her calf. The source of this reassuring call is several islands away. A male humpback singing a beautiful whale song. Like Maria, he's migrated an enormous distance from his own faraway polar retreat. He is going to do everything in his power to win the right to be Fluke's and Maria's protector. His music has drawn in a fellow male traveler, a potential rival. Soon, more males arrive, each of them hoping to become Maria's champion. Despite their rivalry, these migratory mammoths will often come together after their long journey. far from Echo's view, behind a neighboring reef, there's a quiet, sandy area where the dolphins live. Kumu always brings Echo along so he can practice and hone his skills. She needs him to learn how to find his own food, and soon, or he won't make it to adulthood. Dolphins use a highly sophisticated kind of sonar called echolocation that allows them to locate things buried under the sand. This kind of pinpoint detection takes years to master. And Echo still hasn't figured it out. Everyone else is having success. As they all head to the surface for air, the hidden tasty treats finally reveal themselves. Razorfish. Sneaky little devils. When no one's around, it's like a party down there. But when Echo dives down to try to catch one, poof! He's got the echolocation part down. It's his follow-through he's got to work on. Oh, I got one. Or not. Ah, so close. Here, watch your mom. You gotta feel the razorfish. And boom, see? Try again. Yes! No! Oh, Echo. And that's about the limit of his attention span. That's the reef. More trouble for Mr. Manix. His whole neighborhood is in a shambles. There's only so much tidying and arranging a mantis shrimp can do. Clearly, the gardeners in this area have not been doing their jobs. The reef is falling out of balance, and the corals are dying. At a time like this, the community needs a hero. But who will emerge as a savior? Who will step forward and put duty before self? The bumphead parrotfish. That's who. Parrotfish, believe it or not, are the single most important creatures when it comes to protecting the health of the reef. They chomp up dead and algae-covered coral, allowing fresh coral to grow in its place and rebuild the reef. Without parrotfish, the entire reef would die very quickly. So every creature who depends on the reef for survival, including Mr. Mantis, owes its life to the parrotfish. Now, if you chop coral all day, you swallow a lot of rock, and the rock turns into sand poop. parrotfish can produce 5 tons of sand per year. 5 tons. Given enough time, parrotfish can poop entire tropical beaches. It may be great for replenishing the sediment, but leaving then poop from the water is generally a bad thing for meat freaks.
I'm guessing Thane is eating what we're eating, or?
To make matters
We're gonna
worse,
try. Chris and I have been trying to be more strict about making him eat things.
We got, we saw, who is the talkative couple?
Oh, the Jewish guy?
Yeah,
What,
they were out in silence for a while. We saw
Connie
Peggy.
Feldman.
Connie Feldman.
But she's Catholic.
Oh,
I found out just recently.
well, then we saw the Gruffalo.
You saw the Gruffalo? Where
No.
was he? You saw the Gruffalo thing?
No.
Outside?
And then we saw the Feldman, and then we saw Peggy Hernandez.
Again? Did she talk to Carlos? Is he gonna stop
Oh,
by?
I'm not sure that she was just talking to Thane.
Did Carlos get his shot?
Got to finish his first one, he gets his next one, this next week.
Yeah. All of us seem to be on the same time. But you said she got the Moderna,
And she
Oh,
said
I
the
know.
second day Moderna was tough on her.
but she hasn't had the second, right?
She has, and the
Oh, is she the
second one,
one that had all the problems?
she had a lot of problems with the second one.
Don't
He
give
said it
her
was like
Moderna.
having the COVID for 3 days.
Wow.
Headache, fever, tremors, all this stuff.
Cold chills,
So Tom Sorensen was getting his this afternoon.
Moderna?
Second Moderna
Which
shot.
one?
Moderna, second
Oh,
one.
no.
And he didn't like hearing all that stuff about how bad it could be. and all
No,
that. It was not everybody, but
And Pfizer, Katie, Dad had to get Pfizer because the next
That's all they
day
do.
after his shot, he's in a golf tournament.
Oh.
So
Well,
that,
it could still happen with Pfizer, but I've heard it's a lot less. Like, it might just be like one day where you kind of don't feel good.
well, I heard the Pfizer philosophy is more like you get a big bunch the first time, and the second time it's like a booster. Whereas Moderna, they use a mild dose on your first one to get your body used to it and, whatnot. Then they give you the heavy dose the next time, which is when your body's supposed to exhibit the immune reaction to it, which is what makes you have a problem. Interesting, different philosophy behind the two. Now the Johnson & Johnson, I think, just got approved.
That's one shot?
What shot?
I wonder if that's really intense, if it's only one
Well,
shot.
yeah, that was pretty good. Oh, look at that, who's that? Who's that? What uncle is
So
that?
his classroom at school is Curious George themed. So he's been asking to watch it, because I think they watch it in class sometimes.
Oh, is that Curious George thing?
Yeah.
Who's the man in the yellow hat?
I don't even think I saw him. How did you on Friday? Did the teacher say?
Yeah, she said he had a good day. She said he was a little hyper because it's Friday.
Did they start the session?
I think they did, they got a report card on Friday.
Oh, how
They do,
okay.
I mean, it's pretty basic. It's like, they kind of go through social skills, communication skills.
What was his best?
If you would, well, on the back, they analyze like recognition of letters, numbers, and shapes, and they knew all of them. Recognize all letters, all sounds, all numbers, all
Good
shapes.
boy,
and
Dave,
colors.
you did it.
And then the other side, he had like, you either get skill mastered or needs work. There's not like too much, there's not like any negative things.
Right,
But,
okay.
the needs work was like, some of the sharing, communication, like asking for things, stuff like that.
Good.
Good job,
But
Dave.
you're saying
All the letters.
you're being put in the 5-day class, what day is that?
It's a week from Tuesday. It's on the 16th.
Oh, it wouldn't be on a Tuesday.
Yeah, the 16th. But it's when he's in school.
Oh, good.
It's like 9:30 in the morning.
Oh,
Hey, thanks.
Tell me what the update on that is for 5%. 5 days, is it
This
the
is,
church school?
this is signing up for next year at the church school. I have to go in on Tuesday at 9:30 in the morning.
You got all day.
They offer a 2-day, a 3-day, and a 5-day. And I'm thinking about doing the 5-day.
Hey, I don't think they have a 2-day for 4-year-old.
They do.
Oh, okay.
Because if you think think about it, they just have 2 sets of teachers, so one set of teachers teaches both like the 2-day and the 3-day, and then they have another set for the 5-day. I think we can divide it, and if we do that, I think I'm gonna not send him to Laurie Park.
Oh, no.
I think just switch him over fully to the Spring of Life.
I would, by then, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be better with his behavior stuff, we'll have a lot of tools we can use.
Yeah.
We can still do external behavioral therapy if we need it, privately. But also, I just think Spring of Life is just nicer because it's a lot more play-based, you know, like the other one is so academic and he knows everything.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to learn that, I'd rather have him getting the social skills
Pretty
from.
good,
Right.
pretty good. Absolutely.
Okay, we're almost ready to eat. Oh, Frank, can you bring
That's a chipmunk. Is that a chipmunk or a squirrel? I think it's a chipmunk.
Oh, there, can you help Mom do this? I just might need the vegetables, the heavy thing.
Well, I think it is.
I'll put it here.
Okay, you, I'll hold this.
No, this bird's gonna fly, like
And
you
you
will.
will plug these things into there, and then I'll pour the juice over. And then you we want to shred it first.
Birds can't fly. Yeah, they can walk. Okay, what does he have? The kite flies way up high, babe.
Sorry, I can't transit the talk to any mysterious secret. This isn't as easy as I made it look. I studied the boat for windshield for 3 years. I never make mistakes. Rats! That's never coming down. For sake,
Hey, you guys want wine or not?
I do. Chris does. Doesn't.
Okay, we're about 5 minutes away from the meeting.
my rats! Thanks, George. As a reward, I'll let you fly her. Billy! Coming! I promise to help Mom set it cold. I won't be long. You want to ride like that?
Mom or Dad, why do you guys bring me a diaper with lights?
Yeah.
You don't want to lose all of it. Tie it around something.
There's the monkey. Is that curious, George?
George was really flying up.
Oh, Spencer's might be in the bedroom.
Maybe it was flying him.
No, sorry, the breakfast.
Done.
Incoming. Okay. Hang on, guys. He's going.
Hey everybody, thanks for sticking with me this long. If you got through my solve and you're also at this part, kudos, I guess. So yeah, Five Blind is my favorite event. It's been for a long time. I was the 2011 world champion for solving Five Blind. I've held the world record for the single in the past, but at this point I would say I'm more of an enthusiast for it. I still like it very much, but my times are not even close to what all of you fast people put up. But I will go through briefly what my solve was. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on theory and stuff because a lot of what I use is pretty old and probably outdated at this point. But so method-wise, I do use BH or Beyer Hardwick. So basically, Daniel Beyer and I in 2006 came up with, I guess in today's terminology, we would say it's move optimal commutators or move optimal 3 style. So that's still what I use, to be honest. I don't, for some of the cases, I do replace them with conjugate. So I'll do a setup and then a faster alg and a setup, but it's still pretty close to move optimal. Among the seniors, so I compete in the seniors comp for blindfolded events pretty regularly, not so much the last couple months just with work and having 2 kids and all that, but my solving times are generally pretty fast for other people of my like age group, and I think part of that is down to the fact that I don't turn as fast as you fast people, so move optimal is a pretty big advantage for me, at least for, you know, my peers, I guess you could say, like people that are at about my skill level. And memory method, I use kind of a combination of images and auditory. Pretty much everything is images. I do use auditory for the edges, like the midges, I guess. And I use visual actually for the centralmost centers. So I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, that's the kind of like in a nutshell. Basically, yeah, I love Five Blind. I have for years. Gonna still keep doing it, still keep competing it, all that good stuff. And I guess, like, yeah, let's just jump to the solve quick. And I'll keep this, again, pretty brief because a lot of you are using way more advanced stuff than what I use, to be honest. Okay, so I scrambled to my orientation, and so I do rotate the cube for, like, optimal center solving. It's a lot like you would do on 4x4, but there's a void cube parity. So any single rotation will do 2 4 cycles of corners, which is an, like, odd permutation parity change, and then it will do even. It's even permutation parity because I'm doing 2 4 cycles. But if you look at the edges, I do a 4 cycle here in the E layer and on the bottom. So I'm doing 3 4 cycles, which is an odd permutation parity. So you get void cube parity basically. So I have to make sure that of the 24 possible cube rotations, I only pick from the 12 legal ones. I have investigated a parity alg that will like cycle 4 centers, and then it also is going to have to switch 2 corners. Sorry. You just cycle the 4 centers, but then you have to cycle the 4 edges too. The midges, I guess. But yeah, I've looked into some algs, and of course I have some algs, but they're way too long and not anywhere near fast, and it's not even worth like at my turn speed, it's not worth it to do that. It's better to just pick a legal orientation. So basically, I didn't know this during the solve. I looked at this afterward, but the initial orientation is pretty bad for solve centers. That's all I'm looking at to optimize the solve centers. It's not great, and I counted it later. I've got 8 solve centers, which is like, it's okay, I guess. You're expected to have 6, I guess, so it's a little bit better than average, but now that I'm used to rotating, it's just kind of like, it's mediocre. So I rotated, I guess I did y prime x. No, from the start, I did z prime y prime. Okay, so what this does is this gives me 12 solve centers. So basically, like, what started as u is now f, and what started as f is now r. And basically, I noticed that there's a big block of orange here, so I just kind of threw that on the orange side. And then that gives me 2 rotations to look at here. So this is, you know, I think this actually is the optimal orientation. I was looking at it later, but I've just practiced basically find a big block of colors, put it on its side, pick from the two legals and pick the one that has the best. Because, you know, when I first started doing this center rotation thing, I'd take like 30 seconds to find the optimal orientation, which is like pointless. I mean, I could have just started memorizing and it'd be way faster. So I learned if I just find the biggest block of solid colors on one side, put it on its side and pick from the two legals, I can get this down pretty quick for me. So probably like 5-10 seconds at most, which is actually kind of worth it. Because, you know, if I saved 2 cycles out of that at my turn speed, that's worth an extra 4 or 5 seconds. Like, I'm not going to be able to execute those that fast. So then I basically did the memorization. I guess because my solve was so long, I don't want to keep this video too long. This is more just kind of describing it. The rest of the solve is, honestly, it's not that exciting. It's just pretty much standard textbook BH method. So I guess I'll tell you my order. So I memorized plus centers. This is all journey method, by the way. So I use journeys. Each location, I put 3 images, and each image is a letter pair standing for 2 pieces. So I did T centers, X centers, wings, and that's all journey. And I'm usually doing like mini reviews in those, and then I'll do a review at the end of all that because that's the end of my like journey stuff. And then when I get to corners, I actually still use journey for corners, but I sort of like mentally separate it off because I'm just doing a 3 blind solve. I start with all the 3x3 stuff first. So in my mind, I sort of like section off, okay, now we're gonna do a 3 blind, but it's still in the locations of the same journey, if that makes sense. So I do the corner memo, and then I do the midge memo completely by audio. I have a single syllable audio list that I came up with years ago, like 2006, I think, or somewhere around then. So I don't do any cool stuff with like putting 4 letters together that makes sense. It's just every letter pair is a single syllable word. And then I do the center orientations, and I just use quick commutators for this. So, you know, the orange is supposed to go there, green goes there, yellow goes up, and I just do like basically these like MU style or MES or whatever, like those kind of 3 cycles. And, you know, that's pretty much it. So I'll cut this off just because I don't want the video to get too long, but I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope it was interesting, and I feel honored to be asked to jump in on this video. Thanks very much. All right, see you later, everybody. Bye.